What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to analyze the tape of Pittsburgh Steelers young offensive tackle Dylan Cook. The guy had a phenomenal game against the Miami Dolphins yesterday, and I don't say this lightly. I think the Steelers might have something here with this kid. And now we've seen him in two separate games. Again, I want to see how he finishes the rest of the season, but this guy looks really good. Let's get right into the tape. And I want to go ahead and start right away with this first snap here. You're going to see Cook do a phenomenal job on the reach block. There's going to be a wide zone to the left of your screen here. This one pops for about 7 yards. This was actually the second drive of the game. The Steelers did go 3-and-out to start the game. A really nice run here by Warren, but look at the block. Look at the angle that Cook takes to cut off this linebacker. To me, that's a phenomenal job, not only helping Isaac Samalo, but also climbing up to the next level. I'm telling you guys, Cook looked really good. It's kind of crazy. This guy was an undrafted player coming out of Montana, and he really hasn't played any NFL games. And he stepped in last week, obviously against the Baltimore Ravens. I think he played 13 snaps. And he looked pretty good. I watched those snaps. Looks pretty good. I mean, look at the double team. Watch the hands, man. Look at how he gets the hands into the 4-eye technique here. Just a really nice job to allow that guard to overtake that. I mean, that right there is a really nice job. Of course, keeps the eyes on the linebacker, gets up there. And look at that lane right there. This is so well blocked by these two guys. The three guys here take their three guys. And the only guy that can actually make the play on this one is going to be the safety. He's going to be the one guy that kind of goes unblocked. If Warren somehow makes this man miss through here, this is a touchdown. But of course, this is also a pretty good safety, and he gets paid to make these plays. Still, really nice job. 7-yard gain. Let's get into the next rep. Now, Mike Tomlin talked a little bit about Cook after the game, and he talked about how their job was to help him as much as they could. And there are snaps where they help him, but there's also snaps where they don't. And he does a really good job, and this is an example of this. Now, this is not perfect. He does give up a little bit too much ground. But I want to slow this play down and show you guys something that Cook actually does within this rep that a lot of offensive tackles don't know how to do. Right? A lot of offensive tackles, when they start to get pushed back, don't know how to readjust their hands. And Cook does a phenomenal job here readjusting those hands. So, again, slow it down. Watch this as Cook is going to start to get bull rushed. The defensive end's going to long arm Cook. Left hand gets right into Cook, and Cook's kind of in a bad spot at this point because the defensive end is lower than him, and he has the left arm locked on the inside of Cook. Watch Cook's left arm here and how he readjusts it right there. And that left arm, right, he essentially brings it back underneath. Let me just back it up so you guys can actually see this. He's going to do a great job with the left arm right there. And that readjustment essentially gives him the inside position on that defensive end. Notice how as soon as he kind of gets there, he gets that hand back into that defensive end. He's going to drop the anchor and the movement stops. You see that happen right there, right? You see the movement essentially get stopped. And this is why that readjustment of the arm is very important. And these are little things that sometimes people will overlook. But to me, the technique that Cook has is pretty damn impressive. And this is a guy that was a former quarterback, right? So, and as a former quarterback, he kind of knows what the current quarterback would want out of his offensive tackle. Here's another really impressive rep. This one's going to hit for 22 yards to DK Metcalf. Again, recognize there's no help on this one. And he just does a really good job with the footwork, staying right in front of Chop Robinson, who's a pretty good pass rusher. Robinson has really good speed and quickness. And once again, Dylan Cook just stays right on top of this. And I really like the readjustment here. Chop Robinson within this pass rush is going to try to disengage Cook. So initially, he's going to go to the bull rush. Hands right into Cook. Cook is angled in a way where you could technically get caught leaning. But on this one, he doesn't actually lean. Does a really good job with the footwork. Because Robinson, as soon as he bull rushes, is going to try to toss Cook over to the right side. And he's going to try to go to the left side. You'll see that here. And Cook does a great job with the hands, right? He doesn't get caught leaning. He doesn't end up going forward. The footwork, right, just to kind of readjust and get right back in front of Chop Robinson. I mean, this is phenomenal stuff right here by a guy who's really not played a lot of tackle over the course of his career. That's impressive right there, man. It's a really impressive rep to go up against Guy and Chop Robinson and to be able to shut him down. Alright, guys, check this next play out. You're going to get a 4th and 3, and it's a quick pass. The ball comes out, but I like some of what Cook's showing on this one. It almost seems to me like he's throwing a ghost move up there with the left hand. And I'm going to slow it down so it's a little bit easier to see. Watch the left hand here of Cook. He's going to fake the punch right there. That's a nice job to essentially fake like you're about to make contact with this defensive end. And that's going to slow this guy down just a little bit because he thinks Cook's about to attack him essentially. That's a good job right there to kind of keep that defensive end guessing. The little things, man, that this guy's putting out there on tape is pretty impressive if you guys ask me. Now check this play out here. The slide on this one is going to be to the left. And based off the big on big rules, right guard, right tackle, which means the center, left guard, left tackle are going to slide to the left, which means you got 1, 2, and I believe the threat is going to be the slot player. I think that's the guy that they tag. But watch what Cook does on this one. Watch him make contact with the defensive end, pass it off to the left guard, and gets back over to the blitzing slot player. That right there, when young offensive linemen come into the NFL, first game, second game starting, they're panicking oftentimes when blitzes are coming. They're not smart enough to make contact with that first defensive end and slow him down enough where you're essentially helping this left guard. Or they'll just stick to the defensive end without passing it off, right? They might not trust it. To me, that's impressive right there by Cook. You got another one here. Once again, Dylan Cook is going to have that one-on-one against that defensive end, Bradley Chubb. Once again, he's going to do a phenomenal job shutting it down. I mean, this is really, really, really good stuff right here by the young offensive tackle. You see him do a phenomenal job as he makes contact with Chubb. You see him do a great job dropping the anchor. I mean, just from the start of this play, look at how he gets out of there super quickly. And look at him beat Chubb to the landmark. Look at this. He beats Chubb to the landmark, is in a really good spot, makes really nice contact. And just look at the hand placement on this one. Drops the anchor as well within this rep. That's a phenomenal rep right there once again by Cook. You got another really nice run rep. Now this one's not going to actually score a touchdown. DK Metcalf's actually going to miss his block, so the play ends up getting stopped, but it is a face mask. So because of the face mask, you end up getting the automatic first down. You move up a couple yards as well. But watch the block here. I'm going to slow it down so it's a little bit easier to see. Look at the double team block between Cook as well as Samalo. And then the double team is going to go up to the inside linebacker. I believe it's this guy here. But look at that. Look at the double team, the turnout. And I know it's hard to see. It's a little blurry, but you can see that both guys end up to the defensive lineman as well as the linebacker. And they stop this guy's essentially in their tracks. There's no movement from the time those two guys right there make that block. And Isaac Samalo, to me, is a really, really good, smart guard. And when you put that help next to him, like on this one with the left tackle, that right there is a phenomenal job by those two guys. And I'll back this up and just show you guys where DK Metcalf's going to actually end up missing his block. Metcalf here, you got to be able to stick to this block. There is one extra guy that the Dolphins will have, but Gainesville is actually going to make this first man miss. So if you stick to your block here, then you see that miss right there. That's the guy that actually ends up making the play. If a Metcalf sticks to the block, this one might score a touchdown. Either way, not a huge deal. I did want to obviously point out the Dylan Cook and Isaac Samalo block. Is a really nice job by those two guys. Let's go ahead and get to the next snap. Alright guys, check this next play out. This is a 2nd and 7 early on in the third quarter. You're going to get a 19-yard touchdown pass by Aaron Rodgers. A really nicely designed play and concept. And of course, there's the pass. But watch the left tackle on this one because in the backfield, you're actually going to get a play action. And if you keep an eye here on the safety, watch the safety come up because of that play action right there. You see number 8, I believe, comes up and you see the touchdown. Might be number 9. But there it is, right? You're essentially going to attack that. And why this guy jumps is because these offensive linemen are jump setting, right? You're using these jump sets on a play action. And a Cook here specifically is going to jump set Bradley Chubb. And just look at the movement here by Cook. Not only to jump set this guy, but then he just stays right in front of it. I am telling you guys right now, this guy is impressive as hell. And I'm not sure if this is the long-term answer for the Steelers at this point. I still like Broderick Jones. I think he's a good offensive tackle. Not a huge fan of Andres Pete, but Dylan Cook should be the starter for the Steelers right now. Until he proves that he's not the guy, he should be the starting offensive lineman for the Steelers because this guy looks really, really, really good. This movement is not something that a lot of guys have. And he does still have to develop in terms of like the strength. I think he has to get a little bit stronger. But like from a technique standpoint, this guy has, and the movement this guy definitely has as well. The technique and just the intelligence, it's there on tape and you can see it. You can see this guy having success out there. I really like what I saw from Cook yesterday. And again, a lot of dominant reps on tape from this young offensive tackle. Reps like this. And, I think Bradley Chubb's a pretty good defensive end. But I do want to see Cook continue to have some reps against other defensive linemen as well to really be able to, understand where he kind of struggles. will he struggle against elite speed or elite power-based guys? Because I don't think Bradley Chubb's either or. I think he's kind of in the middle in both in terms of speed and power. But he is a good defensive end, and truth be told, Dylan Cook pretty much dominated this guy. Dylan Cook pretty much shut this guy down. And this rep, another one, just a phenomenal rep. And keep in mind, I'm only showing you guys reps where he's one-on-one for the most part. But honestly, I don't really even see a lot of snaps in which he got that help where, you have the chip, you have the influence. I'm not really seeing that. And I know Coach Mike Tomlin kind of said that we need to help this guy out a little bit. I don't see that. I don't see the help. I see this guy in a one-on-one now. Is number 81 influencing the defensive end? Maybe, but he's pretty far out there, so I don't know if he really is. Plus, Bradley Chubb's kind of already in that wide 9. But Cook is shutting him down, right? Look at him explode at his stance, hit the landmark. The hands land perfectly. And on this one here, Cook is going to end up, or Chubb, I should say, Chubb, the defensive end, is going to end up swatting the hands. Right? Left hand lands. Watch the swat with the right hand right there. And Cook ends up just readjusting the hands. He's not leaning. He doesn't get caught off balance. That's a really impressive rep. And I really do like some of what we're seeing from this guy. You can see the footwork. You can see the hand placement. He's not leaning. He doesn't have some of the bad issues that other guys have. And you can just see just how smart this guy is in some of these blocking angles and the way he moves guys. On this one here, this is going to be inside zone here. And all Cook has to do is take this guy and just make sure the defensive end cannot beat him quickly to either side, right? He has to just set up to the inside and make sure the butt kind of stays angled towards this side over here, right? And that's exactly what he's going to do on this one. You're going to see him get out of there, makes contact with Chubb, he turns it out, and this is perfect. This is exactly where you want to be because the running back may end up hitting this into this gap potentially, right? The guy's smart, and you just see it on tape, play in, play out. Again, very impressed with this young offensive lineman. You got a 3rd and 6. This is going to be the final play of the game that Cook is in. I think it's the final offensive play that the Steelers had the ball. But watch number 60 here and what he's going to do to number 44. Now, I've watched every single one of the snaps he played. This is the only time he does this right here. Only time he's going to snatch down Chop Robinson. But keep in mind, this is something that he obviously has in his game. So we've seen this guy readjust the left arm. Right, as you're getting bull rushed, you readjust that left arm, you bring it back underneath. We're seeing him snatch down the defensive end here. Snatch trap, again, just another advanced technique. And we've also seen him use the ghost punch, right? Kind of just throw that hand up there just to keep the defensive end guessing. Those are advanced things that this guy is doing essentially, right? There was one play he even tried to slingshot a guy or maybe it was more of a butt block, and I didn't show that play to you guys. But I am telling you guys, this guy looks good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys next time with another video.